Alright, today I've been working on the ss14, starting to get it put together. I'm working on getting this stuff here painted. I'm going to get the spindles done and get them on. Then I got some random wheels and tires I'm going to put on the front of it. Then I'm going to sit it on the ground, and then I can throw the running boards, the fenders, the battery tray, which I'll probably leave the battery tray out till I get the wiring all ran. But it's coming along. And I cleaned up this panel. I'm not going to get a new decal for it. I got to get this glued back on though, but looks something like that. Realistically, most of those switches and all hold it in. I bent it up a little bit taking it off. I think I used a heat gun and just pulled it off like that, but this is what I'm working on today. Still got to tighten up the front axle, but got the frame all together, got some of the mower deck hangers on, seats on, dash is on. Because I can put a lot of this stuff on that's here. Toolbox, I'll probably leave this off. It's one thing I forgot, which I think this goes on the battery tray bolt. Yeah, it does. And I'm just going to put bolts in the opposite way. That way if I ever have to pull the battery tray off, I can. I'm still a little sick, like I said in my last video, but trying to get this thing knocked out pretty quick. I still have a lot of stuff to paint, but I can put what I usually do is I leave this rear frame on, and then I can slip the transmission in without pulling it, because I pull the 90-degree elbow off the thing there. So I'll probably get the front so it rolls, and then put a cinder block under the back to hold it up, and I'll just put it somewhere in here where I can work on it. And it's still somewhat movable. With the front having wheels, I can just pick up the back of it and roll it around. And I gotta get the steering gear and the little pivot thing that goes in the front of this frame. I gotta get that stuff cleaned up and painted. Got the high-low shifter, still needs to go in. I put the bolts and I cleaned up the brackets, the little 90-degree brackets, I guess. I got it strapped down because it's a little front heavy. I just don't want it to fall. Got the grip put back on that. I'm working on mounting the voltage regulator now. Then once that's done, I might start trying to put that stuff in there and see how good that holds that in. It looks like it fits pretty tight still, even with just that stuff holding it. I don't think I have anything necessarily that I want to try to glue it with here right now. But I think it'll suck in pretty good. It doesn't look like it's too out of shape and bent. I'll probably just do that. I don't know what happened to it. I did have a nice Stuart Warner amp meter for it. I think this one is Stuart Warner, but it's a little crusty. I might have put it in something, to be honest with you. I think it might have gone in the 67 Super 12, now that I think about it. I don't think I have one with the harness. I'll have to look for one. I don't know what happened to the one that came out of it unless I used it in something else. Because I'd like to put it, because I had one that was like new. I probably did put it in the 67. But I thought I had another one also. I might clean this one up and use this depending on how it cleans up. I had a couple of them. I might have also put one back in the 68 because I took one out of that because I was going to sell the 68. But I'll probably throw this up tomorrow once I get this off the stand. Then I'll start assembling some of the stuff. I just cleaned up the hardware. I'm not buying new hardware. I'm not spending a bunch of money on this. I gotta pull that bolt out and touch that up a little bit. But it's coming together. Alright, another Saturday update. It's pretty late. I'm getting ready to go home, go to bed, but can't remember what I had done when I left off, but I got the cigarette lighter in, the ignition switch, the light switch, got the steering wheel on. I got the center cap, I just didn't put it in yet. Got the front axle, the spindles, and I got the steering gear painted. I got the belt guard for the transmission and the little brake bracket painted. And there's the other front pivot for the steering. So I can throw the steering gear and that other pivot on tomorrow and then put the tie rods on. And I brought wheels in to put on the front of it for now. Because I got the wheels painted, but I didn't get tires for them yet. And I got the bolts ready for the motor. I got those cleaned up. Wiring harness, voltage regulators in. I still got to tighten up the key switch. I'm going to wait till I get the battery tray in to make sure that the cables are going to go where they need to go. And this should be the kill wire. I think this is a ground. That goes starter generator. This is the headlight wire. I kind of just rough length that, and the tail light wire, I got that routed. Got it coming out back here. Because I just copied some of the old wires and gave me some extra length when I did it. I'm using the original cables. Got the cigarette lighter plugged in, amp meter in. And I got the handle back on for the park and brake lever. Here's the other piece for it I cleaned up. Got the little grill spacer painted, the hinges for the mule drive cover. But getting there. I started cleaning up some of the hardware and figuring out where it went because I took this apart a year or two ago. Still got a box full of hardware to go through. I gotta do something with these and the dust caps. I already have one of these, but I guess I got another one and I didn't know I had one. So I gotta bolt that on when I do the battery tray tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do battery tray, that starter generator tensioner, both running boards, I guess you could call them. Probably both fenders. I was gonna do the toolbox, but I think sometimes you can get the cotter pin dropped through right here for the high-low shifter. And then I got the high-low shifter and the clutch thingy-majiggy painted. And that's a little bracket that goes that I forgot when I put the motor together. It goes, I think, between the block and the muffler, the exhaust pipe, I believe. Somewhere over there, there's a little bracket because it still has the factory pipe out of the block. So I gotta get that painted, put on. I think I did break a bolt off for that, but I think I got it out. So I think I just need a bolt. Like I said, it's been so long since I started this. Got the little rubber thing for the hood rod. All kinds of random junk I gotta figure out where it goes. Yeah, I'm going to clean these up or paint them. I don't know which one yet. And this is a little spring thing that goes under the running board on this side, I believe. Tail light. I don't know if I'm going to use this one or not. It doesn't have that much wire sticking out. I don't know if I can get it connected. I usually put a connection there, like a male and female end. Like one of these. I got a whole box of them. There's the wire and all I used. I got it off Amazon. I just made sure it was solid copper. It didn't have any of the other trash in it. So once I get the motor in, get the hood support on, grill support, I'll run the headlight wire, and I think I got to make a little jumper because I think this goes up, and then I usually put a disconnect out here, and then it splits off into two. Well, I guess all I gotta do is connect the two headlights. It's been a while since I did this. But steering should be hooked up tomorrow. And then, I don't know, I got some stuff to do next weekend. I gotta get this power washed and sanded and painted. But coming down the home stretch, I'm gonna take that hood and put it on the ss14 because I had to do a lot of work to that hood, and I put primer on it. It actually looks pretty good. It was all dented down here. It still has some low spots and stuff, but that's all I got, so that's what I got to use. But I'm gonna put it on that first, make sure it fits and closes good and all before I paint it. Then I gotta do the grill and the wheels and get some tires. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna try to. I might see if anybody I know has a sandblaster. I can use the sandblast this stuff so I can get good result with it. But that's enough talking. I'm gonna throw this up tomorrow once I get it on the ground and I start putting some of the smaller parts on. I also got to find the pulley for the clutch thing. It's missing. I thought I had it, but I don't know what I did with it. It's been so long, I don't know. I think this is what was on it, but I have an original one. I think the bearing's good in this one. If not, I got a couple more I can pick from. I think I do have a whole battery tray with a clutch somewhere over here that might have a good pulley on it I can take. Alright, I'm gonna turn this on tomorrow sometime. Alright, I didn't end up filming anything. I just wanted to try to get some of it done. But the motor's bolted on. Wiring's pretty much hooked up. I still got to run, obviously, headlight, tail light stuff. And I got to hook up the kill wire. I still need to get better bolts for the front two bolts of the battery tray, but for the most part, it's on there. Here's the headlight wiring. I just threw this grill support on. And I'm going to have to end up cutting this ground wire, making it the right length. But I got the running boards on. The toolbox is just sitting on there and the fenders are loosely in place. I gotta find the hardware for the fenders. I don't know what happened to it. But I gotta get the fender secured. I'm not gonna bolt the toolbox in until after I get the transmission in. And the shifter plate's just sitting there. But other than that, I got a lot of stuff done. I got the steering hooked up. And I'm probably getting ready to run the fuel line. I'm not going to put the gas tank in until I make sure the wiring and everything works how it's supposed to. And last night I ordered front tires for the wheels. And I ordered a pan seat. Because I was going to put this seat on it, but I ended up putting it on the ST12. I'm going to I ordered a seat just like that. It's on the 18.6. And I bought a side cover for that. Should be here soon. And I ordered a set of wheel weights, cast iron wheel weights. And I'm going to put them on this probably. And those should be coming in soon. But I pretty well have the shelf cleaned up. I'm pretty sure I can put this park and brake stuff on before I put the transmission in. I might try to do that. And there's the mule drive cover. I got to reassemble that. Grill corner and the grill spacer. I got the belt guard and the little bracket for the brakes for the transmission. I'm going to try to degrease this next weekend. It's a little off balance. I had to put a block of wood because the motor sits so far over this way and no weight being in the rear. And I still got this stuff over here. It's still a little too wet to put on. I could probably put this bracket on for the muffler. I need to get a muffler too. I forgot I robbed it for something else. I'm gonna let this stuff dry. I might not get to it today. I already got the brackets in for the high-low shifter. All I gotta do is loosen them up a little bit and then put it on. And then it's just a bunch of little stuff from there. Getting low on hardware, which is good. I'm gonna clean this bracket up for the clutch rod. I gotta clean up this throttle cable and then try to get that in there. And I don't know, I don't think it had a choke cable when I got it, but I have two over here. And I don't know which one's long enough to reach. So I didn't run that through with the dash yet until I got the motor on. But the throttle cable goes down through here, comes up somewhere over here, and drops down. But it's coming along pretty nice. It's gonna take me a little while to get those wheels cleaned up enough for paint. Probably the same with the grill. And I'm not gonna put that side panel until I get the transmission in and the belt on and all. And I don't think I'm putting this on, I just had it. It was on the 67 Super 12 and I pulled it off. Same with that. I might end up... I've got a 3-point that I need to paint for this, but that's on the back burner until everything's done and it works right. And I got a 3-point to paint, and I'm going to put wheel weights on it. Probably ag tires on the back. I ordered tri-ribs for the front. But unless I get more done and pull the camera back out, this is probably going to do it for this video. And this rear motor deck hanger is ready to go, but I'm going to leave that off till I get the transmission in. I got to figure out, I'll have to look back in old videos and pictures. I don't know if this was on there and this, they had this rigged up on the clutch. And I got to figure out what size belt was on it. If I go back with the factory stuff, I'll have to get a factory length belt. I don't know what size this belt is. But I got to figure a couple things out with that. They might have had this bolted up there on the clutch. I'm not sure though, I can't remember. Alright, this is going to wrap up this video. This is as far as I got. I got the throttle cable put in, got the center cap put in the steering wheel. The gas tank straps are in, I gotta find hardware. And I know I'm gonna need hardware for the toolbox. I'm pretty sure all those broke off when I took it out. That's actually not even the original battery tray. I mean the toolbox. Because the other one was all rusty. But I got, when I put the carburetor on, I just did it to run it after I resealed it. So I had to put the little linkage back on for the throttle shaft. I got the throttle cable all put on. I gotta figure out what size I tapped that hole to so I can put that little bracket on. Coming together. And then Cleaned up the hardware for the mule drive cover. And this, I gotta clean these bolts up. So next weekend I should be able to put the clutch rod in and the high-low shifter, get that bracket on. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have. I got other stuff to do next weekend, but I'd like to get this degreased and at least sanded. But we'll see what happens, because I want to get that in next. I'm not worried about the hood and the grill. And like I said, I ordered tires, so they should be here by next weekend, so I can put those on the wheels and put the front wheels on that are staying on it. Because right now I just got the nuts started hand tight to hold the wheels on so we can get it off the stand. And I'm still going to have to figure out something for this. I know they make stuff similar to this still. And I kept all the original pieces and tried to not tear it as much as I could to duplicate it. And whenever I do that, I'll probably make one for the ss14 because that's missing on this side. I usually use skateboard grip tape, but I'm going to see if I can find this factory style stuff. Mainly because I want to put it on the ss15 so it matches the other side. But it's handy having another machine of the same kind, plus I have the manual. Because I looked up to verify the wiring because it's been so long since I made the harness and all for it. And then I used the other one to figure out which way the throttle cable hooked into this link here. So, handy to have another one, because I had another ss14, but I sold it a little while ago. But I ended up picking this up the other week, so that kind of helped me out. And then this can go on once the throttle stuff, the clutch stuff is in, and then this can go on. I could probably put this on, I just don't feel like doing it today. And this will be gone. And then when I go to do the transmission, that transmission will go in, then I can put the rear mower deck mount on. And I gotta make a note to put gear oil on this, well, 30 weight. Should have engine oil in it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And I still need an air filter for it. I'm missing the air filter and the pre-filter. I did test it earlier. It does crank over, so I know the wiring's good. That's why I went ahead and threw the gas tank in it. But that's going to wrap up this video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I should get some actual clips of me working on it next weekend. I just was kind of in a hurry, wanting to get a lot of this stuff done. It's been too long since I've been started working on it, so I still have to figure out hardware for holding that ID tag down. I know they make decals and all, but I'd rather just leave the original one on there. Same with the rest of the decals. I am going to get new decals for the hood. The early model ss14, and I'll need one for the grill also, for the front of the grill. But the pile of parts need to be painted is getting down there. Alright. I'm rambling on too much. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, all that stuff.